Hey guys, it's Joe and welcome back to another YouTube video. This one's actually live on stream. My stream chat is making fun of me for being unable to do YouTube intros live. And it's totally warranted. We are doing a couple of GSL Qualifier replay casts because I'm actually going to be commentating the GSL Group B on Thursday, which is super sick. And so I am doing some prep/practice, and I figured the best way to do that would be with the actual players from the group itself. And that's just exactly what we're doing right here. I did not redo it. It was entirely done perfectly the first time, and that is that. All right, don't listen to people in chat. Not necessary. Anyways, on the bottom left we have playing for Talent Esports. It is Dark, and on the top right hand side playing for Clan Envy, someone that you maybe don't see too much anymore. It's sOs.
I love Gemini, you know.
Thank you very much. I love you as well. So yes, we have sOs playing here in this game, so it's going to be actually kind of interesting. I'm very curious to see what kind of stuff sOs has been pulling out lately, because we just, in general, don't see him. The game itself already opened up pretty quickly, and actually, it was a totally normal opener from both sides, but sOs is actually going for something extremely interesting here, which is exactly why I wanted to watch his replays, because, I mean, this is just a total whack opener. He's going for fast 3 gateways, and then a Twilight, and now a Robo as well. This is something that you just never see. I just don't even know what this is. So yeah, this is a 3-gate opener with Warp Gate finishing up here. I'm curious if he's going to start warping in a bunch of Adepts really fast with this, and then get into some kind of other Adept drop, or like still getting Glaives and then just doing a later Adept attack or something like that. It is going to still be Glaives. Just a lot of gateways early to do some sort of earlier Adept attack as well beforehand. We'll see if Dark is going to be prepared for this one. Seeming like he's going just for the normal Roach Warren follow-up over here, getting his third base set up, and we'll be getting a lot of Lings to help defend against this early Adept pressure. That is, again, coming out quite early just because of the fact that we went for 3 gateways right off the rip here as sOs. For now, since this is happening so early and it was scouted, there's actually no drones to even attack over here because Dark was fully aware that this was happening and didn't even start making anything at the third base yet. So all this is doing for now is denying the dronage. The dronage, it's a funny term. The dronage is not being done right now by Dark, as he's obviously been forced to make a lot of Lings, even some Roaches as well. We've got, what, 22 Lings and 1 Roach, with 7 more Roaches on the way. Actually, Dark might just go for a counter all-in with this as well. You can see Dark's completely confused about what's happening. He made a Spore Crawler as well at the front, expecting it to be a random DT follow-up, which I honestly like that read from Dark. It makes a lot of sense, because I also was kind of looking at this build at first and thought there might actually be a Dark Shrine coming as well, but it is literally just going to be a buttload of Adepts. What a strange build this is out of sOs. Going with only 36 probes, it's completely all in. Hitting off of 6 gateways after the initial 3, and we've got a solid 16 Adepts coming in with this first major push happening here now at 5:30 or so. But this is a lot of units from Dark. He's completely respected this opener and is really prepared for this huge quality of Adepts. I mean, so far, absolutely nothing has happened right here. We have a Warp Prism doing a massive Warpman in the main base. I don't think this is spotted. Just one single Adept was barely seen by the creep there. So it's actually very unfortunate for sOs, because Dark is just going to be able to jump on top, and sOs is not paying attention at all. He was busy shading his main units over to the natural here. So all of those Adepts in the main, pretty much every single one gets killed off for literally nothing. It will allow these Adepts in the natural to finally do some amount of damage, but not a huge amount so far. We've only got 6 drones for 11 Adepts in total, while going for essentially a big 2-base all-in. sOs panicking now and setting himself up for 2 more gases and resuming probe production here while trying to take a third. So overall, not the most successful build here out of sOs. Still trying to do something with this Warp Prism, but Dark way on top of all those shenanigans, and we'll be prepared for that. I mean, honestly, from this position, Dark could just do a big counterattack and win, I think. The problem is that he doesn't actually know if SOS is continuing the attack or if there's going to be some Immortals joining or something like that. SOS actually moving forward to dodge that Bile. Quite an interesting choice because that's just an absurd amount of roaches. He's got to finish that Shade as well, which is equally as surprising. We'll get right on into that natural. Plenty of Lings denying the Adepts from getting on top of the drones here. We'll be able to force them away yet again. It's still not much actual damage being done. Warp Prism coming back into the main base. We'll try to get some more drone kills. We'll actually get quite a... I thought it was going to be a couple more there, but in general, not the most. Where do those Adepts go? Oh, he's shading them over here to try and get them out. But the Sparkler! No! The Warp Prism just disappeared into the ethers right there. I don't know why that bug randomly happens on my computer sometimes where the animations just don't show even though I have the setting enabled. Bye-bye, Warp Prism. Anyways, this is what I was talking about. I feel like Dark at this point can just stop drones. Sure, he lost a few there at the tail end, maybe a couple, 6 or 7 more, but he really could just full-on send the mass Roach Ravager at this point. That's exactly what he's doing, getting right on top of this attempted third base here from SOS. One single Immortal is not nearly going to be enough, and that is going to be a quick GG out of SOS, taking the first game. Dark looking very solid. All right, into game 2 we go, as Dark completely obliterated SOS's attempted early Adept play, which is something that I really have never seen before, going for a fast 3 gateway for some initial pressure and then all-inning off of it anyways. Was definitely a bit of an interesting decision, to say the least. I feel like the build itself would have maybe lended itself more to going for that sort of early Adept pressure to force a lot of units and then into going mega defensive with some sort of, you know, fast Immortal play or like Immortal Sentry to take a third base or something like that. Could have maybe been a little interesting there. But since he was going to go for some sort of follow-up all-in anyway, he just, in the beginning, forced his opponent to make a bunch of units.
Thank you.
That would have just been useful to defend the follow-up anyway. So, I don't know. Very strange. Not quite sure. We have a spam bot in my channel as I'm trying to do YouTube casts, and I don't appreciate that. We have 2 Lings in the natural of SOS. We'll actually get on top of the probes here and be quite annoying. He actually lost one. He's going to lose 2 because the Adept has been shaded. Both Adepts, by the way, have been shaded straight across the map here. Have the Lings actually got into the main base to scout this? There's an Overlord over there too, so that should have seen... Actually did not see the Twilight Council, but I feel like we could be able to put 2 and 2 together, seeing these gateway timings here. As Dark, as the double Adept tries to get some drone damage over on the other side of the map. Will not be able to. As more Lings actually getting sent out from Dark, kind of an interesting decision to try and sneak around here. We'll actually get on top of these 2 Adepts, and if they don't shade across right immediately with their cooldown finishing, they're both going to get picked off. Excellent move by Dark, and a massive mistake here for SOS to lose those early units, as he's once again going for an early Adept play. This is apparently the style that SOS really is enjoying at the moment. I feel like in general, though, the Adept plays are just not as strong anymore, going straight Adepts, that is. I feel like some of these builds that have come out that are kind of modified Starglaives openers, where you go for the fast Stargate, but then right into Glaives while taking a third base as well, are actually pretty good, because it makes it so that way you don't know exactly what the Protoss is doing from the Zerg perspective. And it makes it look like it's still kind of a normal Stargate expand opener into some more passive play or like a hero style Blink Stalker charge lot opening. But then you just hit in with the massive Adept swing and it's like totally catches them off guard. So I feel like those kinds of Adept builds are pretty decent right now. Oh, he's going to go for the Robo Bay follow-up for Disruptor drops. Oh, I shouldn't curse. Oh, shiz. It's crazy. Yeah, that was cool. Anyways. This is actually, if we want to be super hipster and super cool, this is where I will say that Trap was the first one to do this. Haha, I got to say it, even though Trap hasn't played video games in over a year. Haha, I still get to mention him. But yeah, back when the early glaive builds came out, when Zest pulled that crap out back in like 2020 or whatever, right after that Katowice, I saw Trap do this style on his stream, where he did a glaive opener into disruptor drop opener, and it was super sick. And then Zound did it, and then everyone thought it was Zound that did the bit at first because they're not cool and don't understand anything, and so, you know, I just forever was just triggered out of my brain. So we'll have the Adepts not actually do anything. It's just going to continue to feint pressure over here. Doesn't want to actually commit because that would be a total waste. Just wants to make Dark continually force units out. Doesn't want to make him, wants to make him feel unsafe to make drones. And then, in the back end, we have the Disruptor drop with speed coming out and will completely catch Dark off guard if he is not prepared for it. He's gotten 0 scout. This build isn't exactly very common anymore, and so it might not be on the front of Dark's mind, so there could be a great opportunity for the War Prism wherever it went. Where is the War Prism? Here it is. Could be a great opportunity for this little War Prism and 2 little balls inside to get some big damage. The Shade's continually getting sent out to try and distract Dark as much as possible. Of course, doesn't, again, want to ever finish that Shade. Just threatening. And now we get to see the moment of truth. The 2 Disruptors will finally get revealed. The speed on the Prism is noted, so surely Dark is aware. The first Disruptor shot gets only 1, but the Ravagers, ooh, not too bad. But he's actually just suiciding the Disruptor forward. That was a bit sloppy out of SOS. Forcing himself to really focus on these Adepts on the left side. Gets a couple drones, but really not too many. Only 4 in total. Some Lings falling as well. Not the best initial attack with the Disruptor Adept combo. Left with only 1 Disruptor in the Prism as well. Much less of a threat as Dark. Wow, that nice split right there with those couple roaches. Only losing 1. Very well done there. But that Disruptor will get forced off. Colossus in the back end for SOS to help defend, but again, there's just really not much here out of SOS. Really trying to defend on a knife's edge right here, getting as many batteries as he can. Dark once again just deciding I'm going to cut some drones and walk across the map until just remaking them anyway, so perhaps feels a little unsafe to actually go for it. Nice Disruptor, doesn't get shot. Oh my god, it actually got picked off at the last second. Did not even get brought into the War Prism. So this Disruptor drop has just been totally negated by Dark. Excellent defense from him overall. And the... oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be really hard to get a speed Prism with Biles. Getting anything in the air with Biles is hard enough, but doing it with a speed Prism would be super crazy. I love that SOS is just using it as a scout since it's so freaking fast. Unless you just had all your queens in the same spot, there's no way that's going to die. So using it as a glorified scout at this point is actually a really good decision out of SOS to see if there's any sort of fast muta transition or something like that, because given the fact they did not open Stargate, going for this type of style can be very risky if your opponent goes for a mutaless transition. It's really often you'll have that as a Zerg player against DT drop openers as well. So anything that involves an early drop is really vulnerable to mutaless play. So a nice scout to be able to confirm that that's not actually happening here. His army is actually getting pretty decent as SOS. I don't really like how few sentries he has, and I don't know what in the world his army is doing over here. Adepts distracting over on the left side, but I mean, his army, has no right to be on this side of the map, to be honest. SOS should just be full-on defending right now. He's trying to pull Dark thin here, as he's got his Prism walking around, he had his Adepts walking around on the left side, and then his main army forcing the issue on the right side. But this is such a thin line to be walking as SOS. This army is not something that could easily retreat. One single sentry means that these Colossi are extremely exposed. 2 force fields is all it will be. Thankfully for SOS, all of Dark's army wasn't actually in position to be able to pounce on that just yet. So those 2 force fields will just be enough for now, but that's basically it as force fields goes. We now are also using one more sentry to help warp in a force field over here to deny the Baneling harass, which was very well handled by SOS. Wait. Did he? No. Okay. There's just no probes here for some reason. Oh, they all went over here. I was like, what the heck? What is this? We've lost no probes this game, and there's just an empty base, an empty third base. This is the next level mining situation here by SOS. He's figured it out. You just don't mine from your third base to make it look like you're way more all in than you actually are, and then your opponent just cuts their economy thinking that they're getting completely, they're getting 3 base all in. No, that's not the case. He's got 4 bases. Still not very many probes, though. He's only got 69. Nice! To be able to actually saturate everything, so he's going to need to pull some stuff from his natural over here, but for now, not really doing that. 2 Adepts doing what they can over here, and the bunch of Banelings now going to roll right into that third base and into the natural. This battery is actually doing an insane job over here, but more importantly, the actual main army is attacking over onto the right side, as all of those units sent to the counterattack is going to make it so that this army for Dark is a little bit smaller, but the Banelings actually get a couple decent connections at first, but don't quite fully commit there. Will just walk away now as the rest of his reinforcements from the main base coming in here to get a nice surround over everything. The force field's totally gone. The Colossi forced to walk back and will actually get targeted down by Lings. Just barely not survive. Oh my god, it kills off the one just barely there. Finally, now we'll be able to get on top of everything else with all of these roaches and ravagers. One Colossi disappearing once again into the ethers. As this will finally get cleared up for Dark. Nice hold. Looked a bit scary for a second there, as actually a decent amount of damage was getting thrown down by those Colossi, not actually dying. If he had a Warp Prism here, that would have been even better. I believe maybe he sent the Warp Prism into the main base, which is what those Lings were doing earlier on, but if he had a Warp Prism there to actually juggle those Colossi and maybe was able to move more to the left-hand side to really disengage, that might have actually been a really decent fight for him. Instead, it actually makes it so he just suicides his entire army as he had no escape. And again, with so little force fields, makes it so that way he can just... It's really so difficult to walk away. The thing that makes this army so good in some of these mid-game fights, going for the Blinkstalker Colossus styles, is that you do have force fields to deny the units from just jumping on top of you. And if they use the biles incorrectly to not actually kill off the force fields, if they try to go for damage on your army units, then it just becomes Wings of Liberty. And the force fields just do not break, and then you just have a sick engagement as the Colossus player. So without any sentries to reasonably force field out the army, it's just asking you to get completely surrounded. And so because of that, now SOS is definitely in a pretty awkward situation. Dark doing very well now, getting multiple Baneling run-bys on opposite sides of the map, but very nice scouting and reaction time by SOS. We'll be able to deny both of those, completely negating any damage there. Very nicely done. Dark also was forced down, forced down to quite a low drone count overall to be able to defend against all of this. Nice little kills off on a lot of these Lings, getting on top of the Archons and Colossi there. So SOS definitely is staying in this game for now, and Dark's economy is not actually great at the moment. He's got a lot of bases about to be set up, but his drone count is extremely low. And so he's not really getting much extra benefit from all of these bases just yet. And if SOS is allowed to cook for just a wee bit longer, he might find himself in a position to actually get a solid engagement, because this Lair Tech army out of Dark is very vulnerable once this massive Archon Colossus Deathball really starts going. Warp in over on the top to deny this Baneling run by yet again without the extra upgrade here, making it much more difficult to actually get probe damage here. That nerf really coming in handy now. But the rest of the army is going into this third base as SOS is going for a base straight at the same time. Not sure if this is actually the correct decision, because he's completely losing the one thing that he really had going for himself, which was a decent economy compared to his opponent. And now Dark is completely ransacking every single base, where SOS is barely able to get inside of Dark's base at this point. Sure, he's going to have recall to be able to come back home to eventually defend against this, but without an economy to really sustain this army, I don't know if he's going to really be able to actually kill this off quick enough. I mean, Dark has got so much more infrastructure set up around the map. Going for a base trade at this point is going to be so difficult to actually get over on top of everything. These Zerg armies are so much better at dealing with this type of situation just due to their speed and their overall ability to split up and deal damage. It's much harder as a Protoss army to separate it into different areas on the map and have it actually DPS everything down quick enough, whereas Zerglings can easily get on top of a bunch of buildings and completely shred them. This is a bit unfortunate that he's actually suiciding all the Lings into just a couple of Zealots here, but it will actually buy SOS quite a bit of time here. And Lurker's actually on the backside for Dark. Somehow this transition came out completely unnoticed by myself, but I actually get completely killed off. This is doing a surprising amount of damage as SOS. I'm actually amazed that this is going this well. Does he have a probe out on the map? I don't know if he does. All of his probes are in his main base. He was not able to sneak any out. So that means that everything for SOS is in this base. He goes with the recall, but he doesn't actually connect. Oh my god, the Nexus dies before the recall goes off. And now everything in the main base is going to fall. There's only a single pylon on the top side of the map, and Dark is fully aware of it. We'll be able to get on top of that as well. SOS rushing back home in order to defend against it, but the four Lings alone will be able to do the damage, and that's it. Dark takes a 2-0 in a wacky base trade. Unbelievable series. I actually was amazed that SOS was even bringing it back, considering the fact that that opener with the Disruptor drop really didn't do anything at all. So totally wacky series. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these types of actual pro level game casts uploaded here. That'd be cool if you let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in another video. Have a beautiful, wonderful day wherever it is you are.